Guys, a while back we broke the story on brewreviewcrew.com about a local brand new craft brewer in the Northwest Ohio area. One of the very few minority-owned breweries in the whole country, let alone Ohio, Black Frog Brewing Company.
Right. Chris Harris, he invited us over. We talked to him. We got a little bit of samples of the beer. Mm-hmm. You can see that video here. But today we have their IPA. It's called Flying Frog. It's brand new. First look. Check it out.
Glub, 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 glub. This is the fourth beer in the Black Frog lineup, the newest one. I'm not even sure it's released yet. I think we're getting a little sneak peek here. Like his other beers, everything is brewed with a touch of honey. So unless something has changed, that's the status quo for this one as well. So I wonder what that will do. I don't know if I've had a honey-infused IPA before.
Well, Hop Slam has a dollop of honey.
Oh, yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah, I guess it does. So, I mean, I think what it's going to do is maybe dry it out a little bit, give it a little bit of a honey characteristic. I think it might bring the sweetness out to balance out that bitterness. I think it sounds like a good plan. Let's dive our noses in. That smells fantastic, actually. Like, really, really good.
Yeah, very aromatic. But also, I think you might have been onto something with that maltiness to it. It does seem to be a little sweet on the nose.
Yeah, a little sweet, a little of the caramel, a little like the bread crust, like the toasted bread crust. But also just a nice bittering floral hop, a little grassiness, a little citrusy notes. It smells like a really good IPA.
It's definitely bursting with aroma. I mean, it's definitely not lacking there at all. It smells very pleasant. I'm getting a little bit of, and just a hint of like orange or some kind of tangerine. There's just sort of like an acidic or like a tangerine or orange.
It's almost like candied oranges, and a little bit of lemon in there too. But just very citrusy American style hops is what I'm getting out of this one. So I'm ready to give it a taste. You ready to go in?
Yeah, let's do it. Cheers.
That is really good. It's surprisingly drinkable. I mean, the aroma hinted that it was going to be nice and balanced, but I thought there'd be a little bit more of a hop forwardness. It's really the bitterness in the back end and a little bit of the sweet malty forwardness.
I won't say I'm pleasantly surprised because I'm not surprised that it's good, but I'm very pleased. I'm pleased that it turned out the way it did. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Black Frog is as new can possibly be. I mean, they are, and if you were to see his operation, it's truly an American startup.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little thing, but I mean, what a great beer! Yeah. Super drinkable and definitely does not have any sort of like harsh bitter aftertaste. There's this really nice kind of lingering bitterness that you want, and it's not that kind of gross tannic. A harsh bitter.
I completely agree. You are left with just a nice. It lingers. I'm still tasting it out after just one sip, and it makes me want to go back for more because that first sip, like I said, the first part of it is a big caramel, citrusy, kind of fruity sweetness. It's a really cool balance of flavors.
I don't get much, if any, honey.
Yeah.
So that could be a good thing. Maybe you don't want that to be your niche where you have to include a honey-like flavor.
Right.
Maybe he wants to incorporate it, but that not be part of the flavor profile, in which case, a compliment. Now, if he was aiming for some honey flavor in the IPA, I don't get that.
I think the honey dries it out. It definitely finishes drier than it is sweet, which might be because of the honey. So, this is the first IPA they've had. They had a pale ale, which didn't have quite a lot of hops, so this is the first, hoppy beer that we've had from Black Frog. So, Ron, what do you think of the Flying Frog IPA?
I'm going to go ahead and give the Flying Frog, I think, like an 83.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like a B, a solid B, maybe a B minus. I think it's a really nice flavor. The mouthfeel does add a huge dimension to it for me, and I think for you as well. So I'm going to take off just a little bit for there. But I think if you're looking for just a nice drinkable IPA that has really nice flavor and isn't too extreme, then this might be right up your alley.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go about 80-ish, a little bit lower. I think that lingering bitterness, while it's not too harsh, I wish it would go away at some point. Okay. So for me, that was a little bit off-putting, and like you said, with the mouthfeel, I would like to see that boosted up a little bit. But the flavors are really nice, and like you said, it's so drinkable. So if you're going to go out and just have a couple IPAs, this is a really good choice to go get, especially if you're trying to drink local like we always try to do. I love repping Toledo, so this is awesome.
Thank you again to Chris from Black Frog Brewing Company. If you're ever in the Toledo area, or if you're interested in trying some Black Frog, drop us a line. Maybe we can make that happen for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And until you do, always remember,
we're the Brew Review crew.
We'll review.
A brew for you.
Cheers.
Cheers. One really cool thing about the Flying Frog IPA is that it's kind of inspired and in memorial and in dedication to his dad, who was in the Air Force, as well as all of the current members of the armed forces, which I think is cool. Chris himself is a military guy, so I think it's kind of cool that he has a beer that pays homage to the armed forces. So just cool that he can incorporate some of his own personal life into his beers.